are over there, then like Matt won't be able to see, but everybody else will. No Matt, no Bobby. South Atlantic.
Celebrate and dance so free. One more time, you just got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate and dance so free.
Hey, we're trying here. Wake FC, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's true.
Hey, honest to goodness, you've got the philosophy right on broadcast. So watch the broadcast like he does the comedy. Dedicated wake up to broadcast. Very nice.
Malcolm, can you do this one?
You watched the game against Asheville? I did. I thought you did a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah, they're coming. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to beautiful Greenwood Field here on the campus of the University of North Carolina, Asheville, for tonight's W League South Atlantic Division matchup between Asheville City and Wake FC. At this time, I'd like to introduce the starting lineups for both teams. First of all, for Wake FC, wearing number 1, Emily Earls. Number 2, Kylie Morris. Number 3, Katie Kernan. Number 7, Asha Means. Number 9, Lillian Stegall. Number 14, McKenna Dominguez. Number 15, Jazira Gonzalez. Number 16, Shay Hassing. Number 17, Reese Kula. Number 21, Sydney Garcia. And number 23, Ellie McDonald. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Asheville City. Starting in goal from the University of Georgia, wearing number 0, Emery Wagner. Wearing number 3, a forward from Mississippi State, number 3, Riley Thompson. From Asheville, North Carolina and Iowa, wearing number 7, Hallie Skibo. From Mississippi State University, midfielder number 8, Ilana Izquierdo. From Maryland, wearing number 10, midfielder Kennedy Bell. From the University of North Carolina, Asheville, wearing number 16, Virginia Eidson. Also from the Bulldogs of UNCA, wearing number 19, Jillian Oyo. From Mississippi State University, wearing number 25, defender Olivia Simpson. From UNC Asheville, midfielder wearing number 26, Azalea Mihailovic. From UNC Greensboro, a forward wearing number 29, Ryan Ortiz. And fans, your captain from the University of Florida, number 22, Parker Roberts. Fans, that is your first 22 for tonight's match. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd please rise and face the flag for the presentation tonight of our national anthem. Tonight by the Asheville Choral Society.
Beautiful night for soccer. We're live in Asheville, North Carolina. The site of today's matchup, Wake FC taking on Asheville City Soccer Club. Hi, I'm Matt Stradley. Thanks for joining me. Bring into the broadcast Parker Johnson. I want to take you through the Wake FC starting lineups, and then Parker, I want you to tell me who I need to keep my eye on. It's Emily Earls in goal, Kylie Morris, Katie Kerman, Asha Means, Lillian Stegall wearing number 9, McKenna Dominguez wearing number 14, Jazira Gonzalez, Shay Hassig, Reese Kula wearing number 17, Sydney Garcia wearing 21, and up top, Claire Williams wearing number 23. Who among the starting 11 should we be keeping our eye on for Wake FC?
So Asha Means is going to be lined up as a right back, but she is one of the most important attacking players for Wake FC. The further up the field she gets, the better for the traveling team, so keep an eye on number 7, North Carolina Tar Heel, playing at right back.
That's going to be a 4-3-3 formation for Wake FC. 3-5-2 for Asheville City. It'll be Emery Wegner out of Georgia in the goal. Riley Thompson from Mississippi State, number 3. Hallie Skibo from Iowa. Elena Izcayerdo wearing number 8. Kennedy Bell from Maryland, number 10. Virginia Edson from UNC Asheville. Also from UNC Asheville by way of Newcastle, Juliana Hoyos. Parker Roberts, Orlando Pride ex-player, is wearing number 22. Olivia Simpson from Mississippi State wearing number 25. Azalea Mihailovic at 26. And Ryan Ortiz from UNC Greensboro wearing number 29. Who out of that group you got your eye on today, Parker?
It's got to be Alana Izquierdo, one of the 3 Mississippi State Bulldogs on this team, but as this Asheville City team goes, as she goes, the Asheville City team goes. Put it that way. So she is absolutely the metronome in the middle. She can turn up or turn down that dial as much as she wants, and she is the controller in the middle for Asheville City.
The diminutive midfielder certainly doesn't stand out to the eye physically. Maybe the most physical midfielder on the pitch today.
Absolutely. She is a fierce competitor. She's put it on display for club, college, country, every single level. She makes an impact.
It's also a bit of a special night. It is a honorary night as 12 members of the 1985 U.S. national team are in attendance. The first get-together in 38 years. These women, Stacey Enos, Denise Merdich, Tucka Healy, Emily Horner, Ruth Harker, Lori Henry, Kim Wyatt, Linda Gansitano, Anne Germain, Pam Cornell, Lori Sweeney. Kim Krabby was supposed to be here. I haven't seen her. She's out of George Mason, the first team not UNC to win a NCAA national championship. She was a forward on that team. Caught Anton Dorrance's eye, and that's how she got onto the national team in 86. And of course, the legendary Michelle Akers. Parker, Michelle Akers, the name that stands out, obviously, but can you believe it's been 38 years since somebody thought to have a get-together of the Trailblazers?
You know, at the time, it was way overdue, and it still feels as though so much more time has passed since then. You look at the development of U.S. soccer, you look at how the women's national team has really carried that on their backs. They carry that label, and they are an international brand. And so to start from this team, which we got 12 of those players in the house tonight, we're thinking in a World Cup year, these women have just flown off down under to get their team going for the World Cup. I mean, it's a really special occasion, and I'm so happy to be a part of it tonight, and we might even be welcoming a few of those guests on our show.
That's certainly the hope. Amanda Vandervoort will be our guest after halftime. She is the USL Super League president, and the Super League beginning play by the end of this year, probably leveraging some of that right off the World Cup as cities continue to be named to the inaugural Super League, and she'll talk to us about all things USLW as well, and where the USLW fits the need, because college soccer is really only, 3 months a year? As the ball played back, Wake FC in a dangerous spot. The clearance from Roberts didn't do enough. The second bite of the apple, a little more successful. Tonight, if Wake FC does this, they'll be successful. Ortiz makes the steal on the outside. Options in the middle. The shot is going to miss on the near post. Riley Thompson able to wrap her right foot around the ball, just couldn't direct it on frame.
So I mentioned Asha Means off the top. She's actually playing on the left, and she was the one who burst into the box for Wake FC. And against this 3-5-2 system that Asheville has, when she gets forward, she will leave space, and that's exactly where Ortiz picked up the ball. Thompson had a great opportunity, almost had an opener just like that.
Ortiz is what I would call rapid on the ball. Very strong player, but the speed is stunning, especially when you're a defender trying to catch up Asheville City, win the ball back in an advantageous position. The cross towards the box, scooped by Earls.
And just keeping an eye right now, saw Ilana Izquierdo go down off the ball in the build-up to that last attack, so we're keeping an eye on her.
Loose ball clipped off of an arm. Arm was by the side. I kind of like the no call. One arm wasn't in an unnatural position. Just because it hits an arm, if it's by your side, there has to be, your arms aren't invisible. So I like the no call.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Matt.
Flag up on the far side. Asheville in an offside position. Both teams in the opening 120 seconds have gotten into some pretty dangerous positions.
Yeah, you look at coming into this game, according to the standings, there's not a lot to play for, but these are the two best teams besides NC Courage in this division, and I think that there's a lot of bragging rights on the line. The last time these teams played, Wake FC won 3-0 down in Holly Springs, and you know that Asheville City is looking to correct some of those mistakes and prove that that was a one-time scoreline, and they can absolutely get them back.
Hallie Skibo playing on the left center back spot for Asheville City tonight. A local AC Reynolds graduate. AC Reynolds, one of those schools that just has a dominant program year after year. And you could argue about when Stacey Enos came to Asheville in the early 2000s and her work to help establish HFC, whether Asheville became a hotbed because Stacey Enos started these programs or whether there was already a talent pool here, and so those programs were filling that need. It's sort of what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah, and in any case, it's resulted in such a beautiful soccer culture that's present in Asheville, and Asheville City being a major part of that in recent years. But like you said, it all goes back to the pioneers of the game, namely Stacey Enos, and that is exactly what we're celebrating with all these U.S. Women's National Team players on a grander scale here tonight as well. So I think tonight is a great illustration of how far we've come, both locally and nationally.
Stacey Enos, you spoke of Wake FC and the Carolina contingent. One of the owners of Asheville City, Stacey Enos, under Anson Dorrance at UNC, won 3 national championships with the Tar Heels.
And it's a matchup that goes both ways tonight. Wake FC every single year features several players from University of North Carolina, as it's a pretty local club to the area. Players will stay there throughout the summer. The main players on the team that you'll see tonight, Asha Means is one of them. You'll also notice McKenna Dominguez. She is a very important attacking player to Wake FC's success, and their main goal scorer is actually out tonight, Tori Della Peruta, but she is a dynamite forward, and I'm sad that we won't get to see her here tonight, but that's another Tar Heel, so they certainly have a close connection to that program as well.
One of the winningest programs in any sport in the country, if not the winningest. I know that they've got more national championships just as a percentage than any other college program in any other sport, and I think that goes D2, D3. But I haven't, it's been a while since I've touched those numbers, but it would be nearly impossible to imagine a program that's as dominant as North Carolina is at women's soccer.
And you just look at how intrinsically linked it is to the national team as well. You talked about Anson Dorrance. He followed in the footsteps of this first 85 team, and he stepped up and coached the next edition, and of course brought so many players through and continued that. And that's been a recurring theme over time. We live in such a hotbed.
Very
just
true.
The state of North Carolina in general.
For Asheville City, as Parker Roberts, unable to direct the header on, did get up in time to win it. That's always such a difficult skill, running forward and having to direct it back post. Not the easiest skill in the world to master. Parker Roberts, certainly capable of it.
Well, she's so good in the air. You see that time and time again for Asheville City. So you can tell that her ability to read the flight of the ball is there. As you said, I think just the angle and the fact that she's having to fall backwards and reach back to get it. It's so hard to get any power on that.
Flag up on the far sideline. Ortiz a step early. Ortiz and Thompson having trouble staying on the shoulder of the last defender, and that's a credit to this Wake FC back four.
Yeah, I think it's a clear commitment from Wake FC to hold the high line, and it's a risky move, specifically against Asheville with their ability to hit and transition. And you already talked about the speed of Ortiz and how clinical Riley Thompson is as well. I don't know if that's going to be a long-term success strategy for Wake FC, but so far it's working for them as Ortiz and Thompson still kind of work their way into the game.
Roberts able to play out of the back. The Wake FC pressure really just one, and they're trying to sink in on that second line and try to really clog down the Asheville midfield. And you're seeing Kennedy Bell trying to stretch the field over on the left. Ooh, bad giveaway from Oyas. Picked up, trying to get onto the ball. The shot, curling effort, that's just going to miss. Like the idea, the execution nearly there. Bending effort from Sydney Garcia. Just didn't wrap her foot around the outside of the ball enough.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Sydney Garcia plays tonight. In the games that I've seen Wake FC this season, most of the time she's playing out wide, or occasionally she'll drop into the midfield. She's leading that front line today. I mentioned that Tori Della Peruta is out, so she has a different role, but in that play, it was McKenna Dominguez starting everything, and then she came in from the outside, and so that's a spot that she was comfortable taking a shot from.
Bell on the run. Thompson the option in the box. Thompson on the turn. The shot, didn't get around it. Snatched at it a bit.
That's one of those where because you're turning with your back to goal in the box, it's all instinct. You just have to rely on the fact that you think you know where you are in relation to the goal, and I think maybe she thought she was just a little more central to the goal, and that's why it ended up going wide. But Kennedy Bell has been causing all kinds of problems running through. We saw the one that was a near penalty. Goalkeeper made a save, and then right there setting up Thompson.
That was a good look from Kennedy Bell. Kennedy Bell's been active on the outside. The foot race between Parker Roberts, who just gets there right in front of Garcia. Garcia's been a bit of a pressure nightmare for Asheville City. Ball played over the top. Thompson will give chase. It'll be Hassig who gets there first, slides it back for girls.
I think Hassig's got a pretty good read on the dimensions here at Greenwood Field. UNCA product.
Good bit of interplay for Wake FC, chipped forward. Alert from Simpson, another Bulldog. 3 Mississippi State Bulldogs in the starting lineup, 3 UNC Asheville Bulldogs in the starting lineup tonight for Asheville City. Oh, there's a Georgia Bulldog in goal. Yes, thank you, Bobby. 7 of the, do both teams known as the Blues, if you have 7 Bulldogs, do you lose the moniker Blues, or can you still kind of keep it?
Maybe they'll be the Blue Bulldogs.
Thompson got a bit caught up. The ball.
I suppose that'd be
feet.
Confusing with UNC Asheville, though.
Really would. At least we knew it wasn't Gardner Webb, the running Bulldog.
There you go.
We took that out of the equation.
They're not running.
The ball in deflected by Mihailovic. It's Gallardo. Her pass trying to find Ortiz goes awry. Roberts wedges it away. Here comes Asheville City the other way.
Well, in Wake FC's defense, their full blue kits make it easier, I think, for them to get it tonight, because Asheville is sporting the wonderful, we haven't mentioned them yet, but the special jerseys for tonight, the USA themed. They have the names of all the 85ers right on the collar. It's gray on white, so you probably can't see that on the broadcast, but very, very nice touch with these special edition jerseys tonight.
If you go to AshevilleCitySC.com, you can go to their merchandise. You can pick up your own. The number on the back, 85. Just a brilliant bit of respect for this amazing group of pioneers. And that's exactly what they are. There wasn't a path. There wasn't a national team until they got the call, and they went to New York for 3 days, basically three practices, and then off to Italy.
It was so incredible reading about their story, which...
Ooh, Thompson. Oh, it's brilliant. Redirected. That wasn't Thompson. That was Jillian Oyas from UNC Asheville Newcastle last year. And back for Asheville City. This is her 3rd season with the Blues. And she's been playing as a defensive midfielder, although throughout her college career, an attacking mid, and it's Oyas makes it 1-0.
Just a great piece of play, and again, it's Asheville City exploiting the wide areas. They have an extra player when those outside mids / outside backs, wing backs, whatever you want to call them in the 3-5-2, when they get forward, you've got them bombing down the side. You still got your 2 forwards in the middle. You got a midfielder following in like Oyos. So many players to aim at. That's where they're creating all the problems. They do it again on that goal, and they will continue to put the foot on the gas because, again, Wake FC put 3 past them last time. So I think there's a little motivation to maybe try to match that score in the other direction.
And that's just before the start of the 13th minute and the 12th minute. Jillian Oyas with the goal. The assist going to Riley Thompson. A fantastic run down the side. Here comes Mihailovic down the side.
Goal scored by number 19, Jillian Oyos.
She just loses out some fantastic last-ditch defending
by number 3,
by Wake
Thompson.
FC. And it'll be a Wake FC throw on the far sideline.
Minute, your score, Asheville City 1, Wake 0.
And I noticed the back line of Wake FC, they kind of, just the back 4 and the goalkeeper, they all got together in a little huddle after that goal to kind of break down, I think, how are we going to deal with this threat, especially on the outside that Asheville City is presenting us right now. So I'm really interested to see how that develops and if they kind of change the way that they're set up.
Bell with the interception through the midfield. Here's Edson on the ball. When she's having her best games, she's being a midfield maestro. You're not going to notice her because she's not going to score the goals. She can score the goals, but when she's at her best, she's doing the setup pass. She's freeing somebody out wide who's going to cross it in. She's unplugging an attack before it gets started. Barrett Edson from the center of the pitch. And now you're seeing Oyas bombing forward again in a very advanced position. Ortiz giving chase. The contact spotted, a whistle, it'll be a foul. Spotted on Ortiz, it'll be a free kick for Wake FC.
Great job covering from Means, just getting herself between the player and the ball. If you're the forward and you are going to keep going for it, like we know Ortiz always doggedly will, then you can expect some contact. You can win a pretty easy free kick. So just a smart defensive play from Means.
15 minutes into the books. Both teams have had some chances. Asheville City had probably been better on that quick break, that quick counter, where after they beat the press, it's one-on-one at the back, isn't it?
It is, because if those two outside players come forward and you have the two forwards staying high, that's a full set of hands for the Wake FC back four to deal with. And then you add in any of the midfielders bursting through as well, and all of a sudden Asheville City has great numbers. And I think there's definitely some pieces missing for Wake FC that they're used to in the midfield. Kai Hayes is a player out of UNC Chapel Hill who she holds down that midfield spot for them, and we're seeing some more inexperienced players in the middle. Lillian Stiegel's holding it down at the 6 in this game, and so a lot of pressure on her with the numbers advantage for Asheville City.
Shea Hassing in the box going against Bell. Had to get the tackle right. Got it just right. Thought she played it off of Bell. Asheville City with the corner. Nodded away. Mihailovic thought about the volley, looking for a little bit of space. Loops one from distance. Oh, nearly curls one in from a couple of steps outside the box.
A lot of bodies for Emily Earls to navigate as that one flew in. And I love the rip from Mihailovic, just taking her chances as the ball pops out from the corner.
Wake FC free kick, goal kick from Earls on the way. Nodded forward by Oyas. Her 12th minute goal, 12th minute goal has made the difference as Gallardo twisting and turning. Able to play it back for Roberts. Wake FC seems to me that they've decided to muddle the midfield, to really force Asheville City into double teams in the midfield at the expense of perhaps going one-on-one at the back.
Yeah, well, I think for Wake FC, the strategy is they trust their attackers. They believe that if they do win the ball high up the field with Garcia, with Dominguez, even Means flying forward, they believe that they can score on the quick transition. So I think that's kind of the game plan in terms of pressuring more into the midfield and leaving some numbers at the back. Again, we've talked about how Asheville City can create mismatches on the outside with extra numbers in the 3-5-2, but it also leaves space. It goes both ways. So if Wake FC get a quick regain and they get the ball out wide and they have their wingers staying high, that's a space all of a sudden they can exploit. Real cat and mouse, but Asheville City looking like the cat so far.
Oh, brilliant tackle out wide. A step in from Ellie McDonald. Nifty one touch. Through the midfield comes Wake FC, pushes one out wide. Skibo read the intentions, able to step in at the vital moment. Wagner, Asheville City's goalkeeper last season. Is Gallardo. There's Edson.
So it looks to me like Wake FC has switched into their own three-back system to match Asheville. You got Means as the right wing back right now, and McDonald, who started the game as a winger, is now the right center back defending Bell right here.
Bell comes inside, still turning inside, trying to find space. The shot blocked. Bodies in front. Not a fun job, but a job well done by Wake FC. Here's Mihailovic attacking from the outside, looking for options. Ball runs away from her, and it's deposited into touch by Wake FC. Quickly played back in. Bell, low cross, knocked away, and finally hammered out of trouble. That could be a dangerous ball. Skibo brings it down. Oh, her pass picked off. It'll trickle out into touch. It'll be an Asheville City throw near sideline. Nearly a bit of pressure that paid off for Dominguez.
Yeah, and you could tell that the switch had the exact effect they were hoping for, because on the ball that was played into the box, which the clearance led to the opportunity for Dominguez, they had more bodies in the middle. They had those three center backs all in there. They had a holding midfielder, and they were able to deal with the cross much better than they did earlier on in this match.
Thompson trying to get onto the end of it, sliding onto the ball is Earls. To the back line, Jay Hassig, who's seen some familiar faces tonight. The UNC Asheville player, back on her home pitch. And seeing old teammates in Edson and Mihailovic, and on the bench now Kawasaki. It's going to be a new Bulldog. Bell gets in behind. Can she stop it? Looks to be just a bit too far. Oh my goodness, what a stop. Taken away. McDonald really wanted that throw. It'll be Bell who wins it for Asheville City, who throws it in, steps in bounds, and is spotted in an offside position.
Yeah, that's a 101 mistake right there, unfortunately.
Bell's been really the danger, hasn't she? For Asheville City, she's been the incisive player. Skibo loses it out. It'll be Wake FC throw near sideline. Foul spotted as Izquierdo's spotted for the foul.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like Lillian Siegel had a fistful of Izquierdo's jersey from my perspective. Now, was Izquierdo on her back? Perhaps. Yeah. Was it enough to be a foul? Also perhaps. Yeah. But when you're also having a fistful of your jersey held, it's hard to agree with the referee in that situation.
Dangerous ball through as Gonzalez. It bounces over her head as Roberts and Wagner have a bit of a laugh. The communication there is Wagner wanted the ball, Roberts let it go, and it all worked out.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they could see the funny side of it. I'm not sure if Billy Lassane will be sharing that sentiment on the sideline.
Lassane, in his first season with Asheville City, has really made this team with a definitive style very quickly. And after a disappointing 2022 season for Asheville City, they're back at least on the front foot, where Asheville City over the past 7 or 8 seasons is accustomed to being.
Yeah, it's been a very competitive division this year.
Oh, good shrug off, loose in the box, the shot And Wegner with a kick save and a beaut.
Wegner on the stop.
Boy, Dominguez essentially free on goal. A shot from maybe a pace or two back from the spot and offset to her right. But that's one that she tried to sneak into the far post. Just Wegner's reflex is too good.
Yeah, I mean, not too much wrong with the shot. She hit it hard, she hit it low, made great contact, and Wegner just the huge save.
Roberts wins the header. I feel like that you could tape me saying that and just have it on repeat. Ball back into the box. Roberts wins the header. Will be out for a corner kick for Wake FC. Queuing up in the box, it'll be Kylie Morris over to send in the service. And in-swinging left-footed kick from Morris. Into the middle of the box. Roberts wins the header. Good bit of 1-2 play, but Bell reads it and wins the goal kick. Bell saw the danger, ran to the spot, was able to play the ball off the knee of Means.
I feel like Wake FC has been a great illustration of what we see this time of year in the USLW League. These summer leagues, when the rosters start shifting towards the end of the season, you have a few players out there who maybe played together in college. Same goes for Asheville City. You have some players who've been playing together all summer. The combination between Means and Dominguez is the one that nearly came off there for Wake FC. And then it's almost like they're playing around their teammates, and the teammates aren't quite on the same page. Some of those maybe academy players who are stepping up.
Loose in the box. Bell takes a shot. Not the contact she wanted as that hot trickles over the end line for a goal kick. Well, Asheville City really expands into that space quickly, don't they?
They do. I think that's one of the great strengths of this team, and they put so much pressure on you so fast. You don't have a second to breathe. If you turn the ball over, you're immediately turned back sprinting towards your goal.
What an absolute fantastic touch from Kula. But Simpson there. Roberts flips it on for Izquierdo. Wide for Bell. The tackle comes in. Boy, Asha Means has had to get a couple right against Bell, whose speed is and technicality on the ball is spectacular. Flipped up. Thompson wins the header.
Yeah, that's been a really crucial matchup. Another challenge flying in between the two of them. And you could tell how important of a piece Means is just by the way she's been moved around tonight. She started at left back in the back four. She played right back in the back four for a little bit to match up with Bell. And now she's been moved to the wing back position since they've gone to the back three.
Ball through for Thompson. Mihailovic, a good individual run. As Asheville City Thompson leaves it off. Oh yes, lines it up, gets under it, always rising. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, went for the curler, ended up with the field goal, I think, on that one. But
it's tough because she's been slotted as a defensive mid today, and she's got a goal, and they dropped the ball off. And
oh, listen, you're taking your chances. Whether you had scored a goal already or not, that was a perfect setup to go ahead and lace one. Absolutely nothing wrong with the idea there. I would have done that 100 times out of 100.
That natural grass pitch, and it is getting late in the USL season, so you're starting to see, I'll be honest with you, UNC Asheville does an amazing job of taking care of this pitch. Through the heat of the summer, through the, at times, drought of the summer, it's in really good shape considering you've got USL2 men's team and a USLW team. Good cross into the box. And a tug of the jersey spotted, a yellow card given.
Yeah, just outside the box on the far side as Asheville was looking to get the ball to the end line and maybe get it crossed in. It's just some, I would say, inexperienced defending. We talked about the shirt pull earlier in the middle of the field and got away with it, right? Mm-hmm. That was right in front of both the center referee and the assistant. They're always going to see that, especially the closer you get to the box. So this sets up a really dangerous free kick for Asheville. I'd be looking for Parker Roberts if it were me.
Roberts actually in the queue to lace it over.
Maybe something off the training ground. Couple players over there.
Potentially it'll be Izquierdo and Parker Roberts discussing options. And Izquierdo will win the discussion, and Parker Roberts trots over to queue up at the top of the box. The whistle blows. Roberts is low on the ground, trying to find Edson. Cracked away by Oyas. Second bite by it's up in the air. And Earls had to catch it cleanly, did so.
Yeah, very strong claim from Earls, and she's going to play it quick here.
Oyas pushing it out wide. Mihailovic pushes it down the line. Wake FC throw far sideline. Good bit of on the ball run.
Dominguez just so crafty. The technical ability of the North Carolina Tar Heel players, it really stands out when you watch these games, and it's no mystery that, you know, we look at the national championship totals, the U.S. national team appearances, the several Tar Heels represented in the 85ers tonight. You know, that so much excellence.
Bounding ball looped away as Izquierdo settles it, has options in front. Scoops one over, trying to find the run of Bell. Flag up on the far sideline as Bell goes a step early as Izquierdo trying to scoop one in.
Well, there you see that that difference in intent. We talked about Oyos, how every time the ball has fallen to her, she's got eyes on goal every time. And Izquierdo is one of those classic playmakers where the way that ball was set up, so many players are going to try to just volley that, hit it as hard as they can. And she's thinking, I need to take this down and find a teammate.
Good touch, trying to bring it under control. Tipped away. Wake FC, good one-touch passing. The tackle comes in from Skibo. Izquierdo kicks it clean. Izquierdo can't bring it under control. Here's Wake FC again. On the turn, it's Means. Means, my goodness, what a burst of speed to get by Izquierdo. Tries to clip one in behind. Mihailovic able to get ahead on it. Mihailovic watches it out. It'll be an Asheville City throw, far sideline. The pressure a bit higher now from Wake FC. 31 minutes into the match. Here's Izquierdo through the middle of the pitch. Thompson touches it out for Oyas, who tries to flip one over the top. Izquierdo can't bring it under control. Out wide. Dominguez goes on Skibo, gets some space. The shot curling towards the top corner and curls just wide. What a shot from Dominguez.
Man, Dominguez set Skibo up for that one, and she set the goalkeeper up as well. Made it look like she was going to take it across the goal and then just skewed it right at the near top corner and almost came off for her. But I think one of the biggest benefits for Wake FC since they've changed shape has been Sydney Garcia actually dropping into the midfield. She won the ball and freed Dominguez, and it's allowed Dominguez to play higher up as well. And I think that swap has really paid dividends for Wake FC when they do get the ball.
Mihailovic good on the ball. From the Asheville Bulldog, pushes it wide, trying to find Edson. Just can't get onto the end of it. It's a goal kick.
Fans, this update from Atlanta. Asheville City 2. Southern Soccer Academy 0. Goals for Horvino and Carlson in the first half.
PA announcer Bobby Somerville letting the crowd know. By the way, the first time the line for the beer tent has a competitor, and that's to meet the 85ers. That line exceptionally long.
Yeah, and it has not dissipated very much since kickoff. We saw them starting to form as we were waiting before the game, and it seems like every time we look back, it's still the same. They're going through a lot of Sharpies over there.
33 minutes gone. Roberts trying to scoop one over the top for Bell. Flag stays down. Bell onto the end of it, into the box. Bell looks up, options, shot near post, deflected away. It'll be a corner for Asheville City.
I think just the wrong choice there. You gotta find a teammate, as it looked like Bell, unless it was just a cross that went awry, attempted to sneak it in at the near post of Earls, who had it covered, but what a diagonal from Parker Roberts to pick her out.
Izquierdo to send in a right-footed cross, curling towards back post. Roberts up, rises, can't control it. It goes out. It'll be a goal kick. A 1-0 Asheville City into the final 15 minutes of the first half. Feels about like an even game. Perhaps Asheville City has more opportunities on goal, but Wake probably has the best opportunity that didn't go in.
That's true, and I think it's been you could separate the first half into segments, and before Asheville City's goal and after. And I think beforehand the pressure was building. They were clearly on the front foot. They earned the goal. They were the better team from the jump. And then to Wake FC's credit, they have really responded. They got the change of shape, and I think things have clicked a little bit more for them. Asheville City still has put on more pressure since the goal, but Wake FC has looked a lot more dangerous also.
Parker Roberts just blasting it out of trouble. Oh yes, tries to settle on it. It's picked away brilliantly by Wake FC. It's a hot, humid night in Asheville. One that, well, that's a nifty ball in behind. Flag up on the near sideline. The fourth official having a conversation with the center official. And now the center official having a conversation with the coaching staff of Wake FC.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different operation for Wake tonight. I believe it's Caleb Norcus over there getting the word from the referees. Nicole Waters is the player coach that we see for a lot of the games for Wake FC. She's not with the team tonight, so that ends up in a yellow card for our coach and kind of a final warning after he's definitely been in the ear of the assistants so far.
1-0. The warning given in the 36th minute. Probably late 36th, maybe early 37th. It's I didn't look at the clock, I'll be honest with you, when it happened. We'll call it 36th minute if you're scoring at home. "36 minutes, 32 seconds gone in this contest, and it's been an exciting contest. One goal separates the two. Through the midfield. Settled brilliantly by Kerman. Kerman testing out the right side of the Asheville City defense. Through the midfield, good one-touch passing. Oh, Mihailovic gets the touch on it. Here comes Mihailovic looking to cross right back into the Wake FC side of the pitch. Oh, yes. Flipped over for Bell into a little bit of space, and Bell, a little bit of space is a lot of space. Runners surging forward as Bell trying to move forward, and oh, Dominguez with the body positioning, brilliant.
Such great work. I mean, Dominguez is playing striker right now, and she tracked all the way back to win that ball off Bell. I think that also just speaks to how high alert Wake FC is when Bell has the ball, but incredible work rate from the forward. Last game, it's been a long summer, and she is still going for it.
Asheville City.
The guy in the
Mihailovic on the turn.
For today, I'm not 100% sure of his name, so I didn't want to like confirm it.
Push out wide, it'll be played in to Dominguez.
Yeah, he's
Through the middle of the pitch, Kerman trying to switch the point of attack. Means brings it back under control, back for Earls. A little bit of confusion, as you said, as Roberts wins the header. I just pushed the button. I said that an hour ago. Ortiz takes a crack. Well, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket.
Mountain Sports is Asheville's original full-service outdoor.
Ortiz is capable of hitting that shot. All kidding aside, but a bit wishful from that distance.
Yeah, I think definitely better odds than winning the lottery if it's Ortiz's right foot on it. She's a dynamic player. My first impression of her was last fall. She's a freshman at UNC Greensboro and didn't play the first 3 games of the season. UNC Greensboro is down 1-0 in the second half. She comes on, scores 2 goals, wins the game against a very good Charlotte program. And that was her first game, first appearance as a freshman coming onto campus. Talk about making a statement. Like, that's the kind of player that she is. You see it in her effort and her goal-scoring ability. So, you know, a player like that wants to have a long shot here and there. I give him a little rope.
Roberts wins the header. Asheville City looking to switch the point of attack. Here comes Asheville City. I thought for a second Dominguez was onto the ball again. She just couldn't hold her footing. Mihailovic out wide. Looking for options. Leaves it for Edson. Edson and Mihailovic. Mihailovic running towards the end line, curling a ball in. Tipped up. Thompson can't get onto the end of it. It'll be an Asheville City throw, far sideline.
You got to give credit to Wake FC's back line. They've held a lot more firm ever since conceding that goal, and part of it is having that extra defender. But you can tell they're just a little more locked in, and especially when the ball is coming into the box, they're making sure to get a more solid clearance. They're marking much better in the box as well.
Pushed wide by Thompson, curling ball back post, scooped by Earls. That ends the pressure, at least for now, against Wake FC. There's Dominguez in space. Simpson trying to mark the run. That's a brilliant, incisive pass. Is it too much? Oh, it's saved in. Bell comes in, makes the tackle. It's out for an Asheville City throw.
I mean, how about Dominguez again? The takedown and then the crossfield pass. So good into the channel there. And credit Bell for tracking back and getting there first, staying with it.
It was a brilliant, incisive pass that cut across the pitch and nearly sliced open Asheville City. Boy, Dominguez on the ball is something special, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, that pass is traveling 60, 70 yards probably. And, yeah, the range of technical ability that she's shown in this game between the dribbling, the touches, the shooting, just outstanding.
Mihailovic has been able to find her way through traffic on that right side of the Asheville City offense. Izquierdo takes a shot that'll curl just wide. Earls had that covered, but at that point, you know, you don't have any attackers charging forward. There's no opportunities to break that back line. Why not take that shot?
Yeah, definitely. Izquierdo, I mean, we said before, she's certainly a pass-first player. So if she's feeling like it's time to pull the trigger, then it must be a good shooting opportunity.
Oh, yes. Wins the, I want to say header, but it was more of a hip. And here comes Asheville City as Edson spreads it wide. Mihailovic tries to bring it under control. He's chipped in behind. It's going to be a difficult ball. Brought under control. Trying to find space. Lays it off. Continuing the run. Dominguez shot blocked by Oyas. And finally Asheville City, some last-ditch defending as Parker Roberts comes out and jumps on it. Edson heads it away. Pressure mounting by Wake FC. Bell steps in at the vital moment, able to win it. Here comes Bell trying to turn. She's pulled down. A smart foul by Kerman. I don't think, you know, no jersey pull. She didn't tug her down. She was going for shoulder-to-shoulder contact, maybe got a bit behind her.
Yeah, that's a professional foul. Make no mistake about it. I mean, as you said, to not make any egregious contact and to not, you know, throw in a jersey pull or a real blatant trip or something, that's what's going to save her from a yellow card there. But that's the type of play where you're just trying to stop the transition. So
quickly taken kick, as is Gallardo, pushing it for Thompson. Thompson boosts it wide for Mihailovic. Doesn't have enough power on it, trying to find Dominguez. Simpson does the smart thing. Get the ball far away from Dominguez, and down towards Interstate 26 is fine.
That'll definitely do. When there's only 90 seconds until that 45-minute mark, I mean, you definitely start taking a few less risks, especially with a 1-0 lead.
That's where we're at into the final 90 seconds of regular time. I can't imagine there'll be a ton of stoppage time. The one goal, the quick conversation with the coaching staff, and that's about the only stoppages we've had, is Gallardo in the center of the pitch. Eyes up looking for options, leaves it off for OS. Simpson on the far side. It's Gallardo to Mihailovic, back for Simpson. And again, just sort of drawing out this possession. Moving down the center of the pitch, trying to find Thompson. Good header by Hassig. Chipped forward, Roberts handles it, doesn't clear it. Kerman looping a ball. That one just skipping off of the turf, and that's going to get out for an Asheville City throw.
And Jazeera Gonzalez has had a tough time reading the last two. There was that long crossfield from Dominguez, and then this one as well, both kind of skidding off the grass surface here. And Wake FC, if you're not super familiar, if you're a Nashville City fan, they play their home games in a minor league baseball stadium that is artificial turf. So, also, suffice to say, a much different surface than we're playing on tonight.
It'll be a throw for Asheville City. 1 minute up on the fourth officials board. 1 minute of stoppage time. Asheville City with the 1-0 lead. Probably not in a hurry to push anything.
Definitely not. You're in a good spot here towards the corner in the attack.
Ortiz went a step early. It'll be the flag up on the far sideline, and it'll be a free kick for Wake FC. Some clouds starting to loom off to our southwest. We'll keep an eye on those. Looks like perhaps a brief shower to celebrate the last 30 minutes of the game, which means it'll pass us or we'll get, you know, flooding. There's no in between. As OES plays it back. Parker Roberts on the ball for a defender, just calm, isn't she?
I mean, that's the experience, especially on a field of less experienced players. It certainly shows.
The blast of the whistle tells us we've reached halftime. Asheville City behind the Jillian Oyas goal lead Wake FC by a score of 1-0. We're going to dip out. We're going to let you enjoy the halftime festivities. We'll come back. We'll bring you some special guests in the second half. For Parker Johnson, I'm Matt Stradley. Enjoy the halftime show.
From the hills of the East End to the Pisgah
and lacrosse player at University of Virginia, Ann Orison Germain. An inductee into the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame, Ruth Harker. The player who assisted on the first goal ever and scored the second ever in women's national team history against Denmark, Emily Harner. This player inducted into the layer of legends at the University of California, Berkeley, Tucka Healy. Three-time national champion at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, Lori Henry. A goal scorer against Canada in the 1987 North America Cup, Denise Murdick. A player who played professionally for the Tacoma Kozars and made her debut in the women's national team inaugural match, Lori Sweeney. Currently one of just two women to coach an NCAA men's soccer program at New York University, Kim Wyant. And you might know this one.
Yeah, you do.
This is ours. We'll claim her. The director of the women's program here at Asheville City. Played professionally a long time ago with the Asheville Splash. The South Region Carolina's Coach of the Year with the Asheville City women's team in 2018. Our friend, Stacy Enos. Ladies, from all of us in Asheville, it is an absolute pleasure to play host to you all tonight. Seeing you guys together for the first time in a long time, it's wonderful. Thank you for coming to Asheville. We hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1985
The start of the second half. Thanks for joining us. Matt Stradley here with Parker Johnson. And Parker, Wake FC's broadcaster this season. But you've got some local ties to Asheville, so this is a nice, unique matchup for you where you've seen Wake FC and you know a little bit about how Asheville and the style of soccer Asheville plays.
Absolutely. I mean, it's two regions of this wonderful soccer talented state that we have, and two distinct styles certainly, but some really, really great players on both sides of the ball. And I'm so happy that I was able to make it up here tonight and see a couple Asheville City players who part of the AC Reynolds pipeline.
And it is a pipeline. It's a whole system. It's like a system in place because it is a fantastic program they have at AC Reynolds. That was a bit abrupt, and we're underway in the second half. Bobby says keep it cranked until it's time to turn it off. Asheville City now moving left to right, and it'll be Wake FC moving right to left. Oh yes, just getting a shoe into it. Ryan Ortiz loses it out. No substitutions after the opening 45, a chip in trying to get Dominguez in behind. And a foul spotted as it was Simpson doing just enough to put off McKenna Dominguez, who's been surreal in the opening 45, everything but the goal.
Clock, guys, clock. We're at 43 seconds, 45, 46, 47. Yeah, he's about to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the clock issues fixed. Bobby Somerville, an expert at not only music but fixing broken clocks. Thompson gets a shoe on it, trying to chase it down, unable to hold it in, is out into touch. It'll be a Wake FC throw deep in their own territory.
I've been so impressed with the work rate of both teams. I picked out a couple of Wake FC players in the first half, but Thompson showing it there as well. I mean, last game of the season, neither team realistically has a great shot at the playoffs, and just giving it all, and you love to see that even in the last game of the season.
One of the nonprofits that really got behind bringing the 85ers here today was Just Play WNC, and that's sort of the goal of it, is to make sure that people have access to the game, underserved communities. And certainly back in 1985, you could say women weren't given that fair access. And I still think that's an accurate statement now, especially when you've got how many professional men's jobs do you have in soccer just in the United States right now when it comes to players versus 12 teams of women. So the argument for the equal representation is already happening is an argument that I think doesn't hold water.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that it's only the 38th anniversary of this phenomenal team, that in itself is a slightly disappointing number, but it is still something to be celebrated, and it's evidence, as always, that there's still a long way to go.
And now we're joined by somebody who's also working towards that goal of providing more women's jobs in soccer, jobs on the pitch, and opportunities to grow on the pitch. Amanda Vandevort, who is the USL Super League president, ingrained in the USLW League as well, and probably, if you don't mind me saying so, one of the most accomplished executives in the world.
I mean, right now I think I need to accomplish my fitness. I was just over there with the supporters banging on the drum. I'm exhausted running over here. They're serious. They're serious. These supporters here, man, they were so welcoming and just the energy they're bringing down there. So yeah, I grabbed the sticks and had a little beat on the drum a minute ago. So anyway, thanks for having me. This is great.
So you've met the South Slope Blues. They
so
are
good.
strangers to no one, friends of all. Even opposing fans, they seem to welcome with a bit of tongue-in-cheek, but it's a group that understands that soccer is fun.
That's at the end of the day, isn't it? Whether you're watching it, you're working in it, you're playing in it, soccer is fun. And I think, there have been times in my career where I've taken a different job or a different path, and I think what has always remained for me at the heart of why I work in soccer, why I love this game so much, is because it's fun. So no matter where we see that coming to life, through the little girls that are stood around the outside of this game right now, seeing their, seeing these women playing this incredible level of soccer, to the supporters down there that I was just hanging out with. I think fun is just so central to soccer, and I just love being here.
Ortiz got into a dangerous position. It's pushed wide. It'll be a Wake FC throw on the far sideline.
So Amanda, you've spent your whole career in soccer, and to have a milestone night like we have tonight, can you just speak about what feelings you've had tonight experiencing hosting the 85ers and kind of how that relates to your mission with the USL?
tentatively back on the air.
Are we
Tentatively back on the air.
Don't
Still
touch anything.
Nobody breathe. It's still 1-0 Asheville City. There was a power outage. It seems to have been fixed. Matt Stradley, Parker Johnson, Amanda Vandevort. Thanks for joining us. Amanda is USL's Broadcaster of the Year. No, wait, President. I knew it was something.
Listen, I'm working towards it. That's next. But I think you guys
You've
own
done
that
just about
title
everything
right now.
else. Yeah, so broadcasting's the final frontier.
There you go.
You've mastered everything else. You've worked for FIFA Pro, MLS. You've been on the fan side. You've been on the player side. You've been on the social media side. What side of soccer is your favorite?
Oh, I love it all. I just love soccer. The team at the USL. Whoa.
Oh, and it's fantastic from Dominguez, isn't it? Makina Dominguez has looked dangerous all night, and she found the back of the net. 1-1 feels right.
It does. Dominguez, if it was going to come from anybody for Wake FC, number 14 was at the top of the list. A great run. She's able to simultaneously hold off the defender, an accomplished first touch, and a finish to match it on her weaker foot, beating a goalkeeper in Wegner who's had a great game so far and denied her previously. I mean, she's doing it all and gets a reward for her efforts. And we got a tie ball game.
And we have a tie ball game, 1-1. So with the final 35 minutes, there's some intrigues, there's some interest. And Parker, right before we went off the air, you had asked a really brilliant question. Do you mind restating it?
Yeah, I just thought that with such an experienced person as Amanda here with us tonight, I wanted to get her thoughts on how you felt tonight, Amanda, the fact that we've welcomed back this 85 team. What feelings has that brought up for you? And how does it relate to your mission with what you do with the USL?
Yeah, thanks for that question. And you know, just before that goal was scored, I was about to mention hang on.
Every time you talk, there's almost a goal. So more talking, better
action. The power
action.
goes out. I feel like Broadcaster of the Year is a long ways off for me, you guys.
It's always exciting when you talk. That's a fantastic
thing. The universe
thing.
is telling me that the broadcasting
Your
world
energy
is
is
not for me.
electric.
Oh, I like that.
I was just saying, my staff at the league office, they love to remind me of my being a soccer lifer. That's the way I think of myself. Soccer for me was my savior. It was my escape when I was a kid, and I feel today, me personally, the opportunity to give back through soccer is it's a privilege and it's an honor that I take really, really seriously. So seeing these women out here in the W League participating is, I take great joy in it. And, you know, being a kid, I watched this team, these 1985 U.S. Women's National Team. I watched them on the field. I saw, you know, what they did for the future of soccer in this country when, you know, it was before my eyes. And I'm incredibly humbled and honored and proud to be here at this game and have been invited by Asheville City to, you know, to take part in this experience. I mean, what an amazing club, Asheville City, and to even think about this, Stacey Enos, to even think about putting this on and bring this group together. It's the first time this group's ever gotten back together since that 1985 team, and that it took this long and kind of this intent, very intentional to bring the group. And so I'm honored and humbled and delighted.
Asheville City, as the club got together, Stacey Enos and it was the general manager, Tim Blakicki, having a conversation, just sort of off-the-cuff conversation, and one of those, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we got them all back together? How many people do you think would show up? And Stacey and Tim settled on 3, when in fact 11 of the 14 popped up today. That's pretty spectacular.
I was over there like a kid in a candy store. I couldn't wait to get my jersey signed. I did one of those, you know, rank has its privilege. I did cut the line, you guys, to get my jersey signed today. So I was back behind the players, you know, with a Sharpie in hand. But it was, yeah, so cool that they all came and shared their stories. There was a moment upstairs, and just wave your arms or something if you need me to be quiet so you can call this game, because I know the fans want to know what's happening on the pitch. So,
well, luckily they can see it.
Yeah,
so.
Kick me under the table or something if you need me to stop, you know, jammering on here. But the Academy girls, after they played their game this afternoon, the Asheville City Academy girls came up into the room. We had a little reception for the team, and it was cool to see the 1985 team give them advice. Went through the line, every player on the 85ers gave a little word of advice to the Academy girls, and it was just so special. Like, how many times in your life do you have Michelle Akers, like FIFA Player of the Century, giving you advice on your soccer career? And it was just super special.
What's a bigger, like, career accolade, being the player of the century, or having Pele pick you as one of the best 125 footballers ever?
Yeah.
Hey, that's,
I mean, there's nobody like Michelle Akers on this earth. She's a tremendous human being. The work she does in animal rescue, and she's got Michelle Akers Horse Rescue, and she does amazing work off the field. And I think she's taken all the lessons that she learned through this sport, the leadership she's gained, and applies it not only on the field but off of it too. And she's just an amazing human.
There's a bit of a banquet earlier today where there was some speakers, and Michelle Akers, one of those speakers, and she spent the entire time talking about what she loved about her teammates. And I think that's very typical of Michelle Akers, where, I mean, she's got over 100 goals to her name, and what she wanted to do was tell stories about being in college and the practical jokes that she played and was finally owning up to.
You know what else, though, when she was speaking to the Academy girls, I think there tends to be this, we started off this chat actually talking about how much fun we're all having in the game and how important fun is. But what Michelle told the players today was, that player who you find really difficult to train against in practice, who knocks you down one too many times, who makes you mad or gives you trouble, seek them out. Seek them out, make the training environment the most difficult that it can be, because then your performance in games is that much better. And I thought that was really sage advice from somebody who's knocked a few goals in and knocked a few people over in her career. So, yeah.
Well, I think that connects so well to the game tonight too. We've spoken about it a couple times, Matt, how Wake FC won the first matchup of these two teams 3-0, and Asheville City with a point to prove. I think they want to knock off the team that put them through that kind of result.
Thompson finds the back of the net. Brilliant from Ms. Gallardo. Plays her Mississippi State teammate in. It's a headed goal for Thompson to make it 2-1 Asheville City. Is that the frog dance song?
You talking about me?
No, the song, yeah.
Oh.
No.
I'm also doing the frog dance over here. I'm glad the camera's not on us.
No, yeah, that is, I mean, you got to get down to the song. It's a fantastic song. I've never heard it as a goal celebration song before. I haven't. It's new to me.
Well, you know what? I think Asheville City dances to its own drum beat. So.
That's very fair.
The drums led by Amanda Vandervoort.
Yeah. There was no rhythm back down there, you guys. When I was with this, there was no rhythm. But they let me do it anyway. They smiled and nodded. And then at the end, when the guy who does the drums, he was like, put his hands out. I was like, give him back now. All right, I get it. But it was fun while it lasted.
So you've been to a ton of towns, seeing the USLW product and seeing the community that these teams are building up. And this is an opportunity in women's soccer where there's certainly some areas that for women's development so that women can continue to get better outside of the current framework. Where do you see the W League growing in the future?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The USL really exists to create more opportunities for more women in more communities, and with standards. The USLW League really is built, as well as the Academy, and you'll see the Super League in the future when we launch our Pro League in the fall of 2024. It is really built on standards that these women deserve. And so as we're thinking about expansion, is certainly a big priority for us to make sure that we are bringing the highest level professional soccer into these communities across the country.
Oh, it's another one.
And goals.
Every time you talk, it's just something exciting happens. Please don't leave. It's 3-1, Asheville City on the corner. Mihailovic on the assist. And we have our first substitution of the evening incoming for Asheville City.
Well, Asheville City has cranked it up a notch in the second half. I mean, we had that long halftime break to honor the 85ers, and they have come out. They responded to that Wake FC equalizer, and 2 in 4 minutes to go up 3-1 right here.
And there'll be a couple of substitutions as well as Mihailovic's day done. Onto the pitch is going to be Lindsey Cook. Cook, a speedy right side defensive player, as it looks like Asheville City may be moving towards a 4 at the back. Claire Williams into the lineup along with number 25, but I don't have a 25 on my score sheet here. (3-1) Asheville City. Still plenty of time for Wake FC, 25 minutes, especially when Dominguez on the pitch. Incisive pass, flag stays down. Kula battling at the, gets the ball in for a deep throw. Here's Dominguez, twisting and turning.
65th minute.
Simpson wedges it away.
Asheville City 3.
Wake still trying to apply the pressure. And it'll be a Wake FC throw near sideline.
Well, Amanda, I feel like we interrupted you just as you were getting
I have
to...
no idea what I was saying. I'm so excited about all these goals, you guys.
Talked about
Of course, and I'm trying to get you back on so that we can get another goal for Asheville City.
Here we go, look, here we go.
But I was very interested to hear you bring up the Super League and how that is going to sort of change things. I mean, we're just finishing up the second year of the W League as Bell gets to the end line.
Chips across the face of goal. Nobody there as Izquierdo the closest to it.
Oh, what a game. What a game this is. I know we'll talk about Super League in a minute, but what a game. The
Really
energy.
is.
The smoke just wafted over towards us, right? From
the red, white, and blue
that halftime
flares
that was so
have
cool
been,
with the red, white, and blue, wasn't it?
Custom
and now,
kits.
Like, it's
everybody
just
in the
energy
house
out here is so cool, so palpable. I think that's the thing we go back to, right? Like bringing soccer closer to home, or the W League, the Super League, whatever. Like fans, the people, the community here is so supportive of these women and this team. It is just so cool to see. So you guys, every time the ball goes near the net, I get all of my energy, my adrenaline gets pumping, and I lose train of thought. But I appreciate the two of you always bringing it back to the business. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you're distracted by the game, and that's passion for the sport that you can't really teach or coach. And you just genuinely love soccer.
I do. I love it so much. It's like in my bones.
Number 26.
I love. Yeah, I love the energy. I love players competing at their highest level and creating the environment where they have the ability to do that. So it's an honor to be part of this, and there's no place I feel more comfortable than with my feet on the grass.
Amanda, growing up, who was your favorite player?
Oh, no, I don't know. I love all the players.
Oh.
I start to name players, and I get down a tunnel. So
I got you.
I'm
Who did you model your game after, Amanda?
No, so I played in college at the University of Wyoming in the late 90s. It was a very early program in the 90s, and so I think at that time soccer was a very participatory sport. It still is today, but there wasn't much to watch. That we didn't have icons to look up to. We didn't have that was.
You didn't have the Asheville City Soccer Club YouTube page.
You know what?
Live streaming.
Exactly.
With the wonderful Matt Stradley.
You laugh, but it's genuine truth that I didn't have that, and so my modeling was my soccer was modeled a lot. I was a goalkeeper. I went to Tony DeChico's goalkeeper Soccer Plus goalkeeper school when I was in high school, and I modeled my game after the the coaches that were there. So Tracy Ducar was there, goalkeeper at North Carolina. But other than that, it was a bunch of male goalkeepers for the most part. I was really lucky. I did have women coaching me. So I had a woman called Alicia Kinsler, was my high school coach. She played at Santa Clara, and she brought mental toughness to our game, which was an area that I didn't understand until we did Tai Chi and pregame, which was unique and different, but it was cool. And then I had a woman coach when I was in college, Ann Moore. So that was great. So I had a lot of women role models as leadership, development. But I don't know what my game, I would say, was modeled after anyone in particular. It was modeled after me learning and trying to be the best version of myself that I could be.
Dominguez in on the ball. Dangerous location. Passes far side. Still on possession for left for Dominguez, and Oyas crashing through the box to get a piece of it. Another substitution in the offing as Paige Carlson looking to check in. Good ball, couldn't be controlled immediately by Kerman. Curling ball off the line and a big collision. And that was Wagner who won the ball, but it looks like Wake FC might have taken the brunt of that contact. That an honest challenge both ways, as Wagner only had eyes for the ball, as did the Wake FC attacker.
I think it was Dominguez laying it all on the line to try to get on the end and just blindsided by Wagner. And first priority here is just making sure that she's okay.
The substitution is going to happen. It'll be Paige Carlson in and Hallie Skibo out for Asheville City. And all eyes and breath held as McKenna Dominguez down on the pitch, and both trainers working with, it looks like, the left leg of Dominguez. The beauty of the USLW League is that at the end of the day, player safety is front of mind. It is something that the coaches and the officials and the trainers are very conscious of. Now, these aren't always protections that were in place in previous iterations of conferences, of
professional women's soccer.
Women's soccer. So to have a organization to have standards in place, like trainers to be at the pitch, so that player safety and player development's front of mind. It's difficult to be thankful for how far we've come. We still see how far we have to go.
Southern Soccer Academy 1.
How do you deal with that? How do you do that? How do you think about the progress made versus the progress that needs to be made?
Yeah, I mean, we're always thinking, we're always looking at best practice examples, and how to evolve to be a leader in this game, whether that's, the safety of the players, whether that's, I don't know, the rules and regulations of the pitch. I mean, it's about providing the best experience for the players, the best opportunity for them to compete at the elite level, so that they can advance their games to the level that they want. And look at the care and concern, not just of Wake, but of the Asheville City players right now. Like, I think that's so special what this league, the way this league is developed, and the care and concern. Like, I mean, all the players over there on both teams are high-fiving and clapping, her getting up from the injury. And I just think that's so special. There's a camaraderie that's been built in this league and in this division, and I'm incredibly proud of it and inspired to be part of it.
I think it's such an interesting thread that as we were looking back at some stories of the 85ers, that has really carried through that entire way from the nascent times of women's soccer, how they go to Italy for the Mundialito, the mini World Cup, right? And it's the Italian fans who develop the USA chant that they're doing at halftime today when they're all getting together, and it's because the energy of the U.S. players over there was just infectious. The fans love it, and it's everybody getting together to celebrate women's soccer. And the fact that that's the foundation that everything is built off of, I think speaks greatly to your point, you know, that you've been making.
What an amazing moment today to hear the origin story of the USA chant. Like, I didn't actually know that. I don't know where I would have heard that before, that it was in Italy and the way USA was translated was USA, and that stood the test of time. The players today still do that. What a special moment to learn that here in Asheville City today. You know, with the team talking to the Academy girls. Like, that was
Played in Ortiz, wide open goal, and finds the back of the net. 4-1 Asheville City. A misplay by Wake FC, seized on by Thompson, who puts an assist to her name. And Asheville City, maybe some retribution from the 3-0 loss earlier this season. It's a 3-goal deficit. That put them even on the season, which feels about right.
I think so, between these two teams. I mean, the matchup could go truly either way, and they've showed it tonight. It's been back and forth, and the timing of that, you know, we're talking about the respect as competitors, right? They're like, listen, we were clapping your girl off. She's back on the field. She's healthy. Thank goodness McKenna Dominguez is okay. We see her right in front of us back on the field. Okay, we're gonna go score. We're gonna get that number 4. We're not waiting around. You're gonna make a mistake in the back, we're gonna punish you. That's how this works. Sorry.
Ortiz quickly back onto the ball for Thompson, who touches it forward.
Riley Thompson.
And Wake FC trying to weather the storm now.
And I think about the story of this division this year as somebody who's seen it from perspective of a couple different teams in the Raleigh area. You know, NC Courage has been at the top the whole time. Wake FC sent a little shot. They're the only team to get NC Courage to drop points this season. Right after that is when they beat Asheville City. And since then, Wake FC has gone from near the bottom to second place. And now Asheville City, assuming they hold on here, nice 3-goal lead, playing very well. They're going to finish the season second, jumping back over Wake and saying, you know what, yes, NC Courage, I mean, listen, they're on another level right now.
So good, aren't they?
Everybody can accept that. But when it comes to second place, this is us. You know, we're making that stand. We're back, like you were talking about earlier. Billy was saying, kind of bringing that attitude back to Asheville City. So I think even though this may not be like getting one of these two teams into the playoffs, there's so much competitive nature about it and bragging rights and like putting your stake down. Like this South Atlantic Division, like we're here. You know what I mean?
The flag up on the near sideline, spotted in an offside position, is Asheville City. It'll be a free kick for Wake FC. Does Wake FC have a path back into this matchup?
I think it depends how close to 100% McKenna Dominguez is feeling. I would give them a puncher's chance, but I do think that completely understandably after the hit she took, she might be cruising for the last 13 minutes here. Not like she's not trying, but just like, you know, that hurt.
Yeah, and I mean, we've all run with a knock on our leg, and it's
not the same.
Your mind moves faster than your legs can at that point.
Yes, I think that's a very apt description. Amanda's
my mind
nodding
always
in
moves
agreement.
faster than you guys. I don't know.
I was going to say
that's why we're sitting at this table and they're out on the field. That's right. Our minds are doing the heavy lifting.
Emily Wagner, whose sole blemish, and what a job by, I mean, I think we can, I'll say it, you can disagree if you want to. I think McKenna Dominguez has been probably the spark of the match on either side. I mean, Thompson's been great. Izquierdo, you were right. She's a disruptive force in the midfield, and she has pushed Asheville City forward.
I think Kennedy Bell might have something to say about that. Another person who maybe has not seen as much result on the score sheet in this 4-1 game with 5 goals, but she's been a problem also.
Wagner's kick save was pretty nice.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yes.
What are some moments that stood out to you, Amanda, in this matchup?
That save in the first half.
Yeah.
The kick save was oh my God,
amazing, wasn't it?
That was great.
You don't see saves with the leg, maybe De Gea, but like outside of him, you don't see saves with the leg like Wagner does. It's fantastic.
Yeah, really special.
Glad to have somebody on the broadcast who can appreciate good goalkeeping.
Yeah.
Somebody who grew up playing goalkeeper also. I'm with you.
Okay, you're a goalkeeper.
That was a yes.
Why did you play in goal? What drew you to the position?
I was unhinged. I think that's why.
That's honest. And
You know, goalkeeper
Oh,
union, we
man.
can be honest. That's like
Yeah,
one of the
that's
founding
true.
principles. You got to be a little twisted in the head. And I loved the pressure of being the last person responsible for potentially being the hero or the villain or whatever. I also liked commanding the field, being able to see the whole field, tell everybody what to do. That was my vibe on the field. But unfortunately, I capped out at 6 feet tall, and in the men's game, that's not going to get you terribly far as a goalkeeper. So here we are
I mean,
today.
wasn't Jorge Campos like 5'8" or something like that?
Well, you know what?
Tallest goalkeeper, was he?
You're right. He was a special breed. I always looked
He
up
also
to.
played at midfield. Do you remember?
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't doing all that.
Taught us how to
So
use our feet in goal.
yeah. But ahead of his time, I would say.
I was a defender, but it's only because I like to foul a lot. That was my favorite thing to
You gotta
do.
be 6'5" the size of you.
Yeah, 6'4", and I like to foul. That's what I was really good at. Not so much kicking or positioning as just I was really good at fouling.
So far, you two, you were unhinged and you like to foul people. I'm picking you both for my co-ed team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, tell me the time and the place. I'm there.
I have such a collection of yellow cards. It'd be a shame to let that go to waste. It's what I'm good at.
Wow.
Played in a couple of substitutions. Greb and Kawasaki up front now for Asheville City as the goal. 3 of the 4 goals now off the pitch as Riley Thompson and her 2 goals go to the bench, as does Jillian Oyas and Ryan Ortiz. So actually all of the 4 goal scorers now off the pitch for Asheville City. Although for Riley Thompson, after that steal, it's essentially she has 1 defender to beat. Ortiz open, center of the pitch. Do you blame Thompson if she's selfish, goes for the hat trick there? Or, I mean, she clearly made the right play. The unselfish play.
Right.
But there's a hat trick on the line. You're on a brace.
Look, we just got regaled about the stories of Michelle Akers talking up her teammates. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's a clear right answer here, but also one thing I was just going to say is how we're in the last 9 minutes of this league season.
Mm-hmm.
This is your last chance to get a goal in an Asheville City jersey in these beautiful special-made promo kits for the summer. You know, some of them will be back, some of them won't.
Right.
And, you know, some of them going off to school, some of them won't. So you got to get your own, too, a little bit. But I think Riley Thompson is very secure in the fact that she will get a few more goals. So that's why she felt okay making that pass.
Not for nothing, these kits are available for sale on the website, right?
AshevilleCitySC.com.
There's been a bunch of them over here. I bought like 10 of them myself to take back to DFL.
Yeah, I got one.
Good luck online on the stream if you want to get one. Get them now while they're hot. But they are so cool. They've got the names of all the players, the 85ers on the back, and I mean they're beautiful. What a cool kit. So if you're online and there's got a link somewhere, right? Someone's got a link for that.
Of course.
to
Yep,
go
it's
online.
AshevilleCitySC.com, and you click on the merchandise tab,
Yeah.
and you just follow through, and it's the clear kit. It's the 85ers, the number 85 on the back.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant looking kit, and honestly, when you hear the stories of the 85ers and the kits that they received, and that they were clearly men's hand-me-down kits, and they
back in the
spent
day,
time
right?
sewing
Yeah.
and ironing on the USA logos onto these baggy kits, and the training shorts were being hemmed so that they were a reasonable length, so they weren't, I guess, what are the culottes that go down to like mid, what do they call those?
I don't know, but I'm going to leave it at cool.
Culottes sounds amazing.
That sounds pretty
I'll
good.
go with that.
Unbelievable.
Like half calf.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the 4th official. Maybe he'll know. 7 minutes left to go. The header on, just rising above the bar. That was a good look from Edson. Edson, for a defensive and a midfield maestro, will sneak in on you and get a couple of goals. What part of the game tonight has been impressive for you? Is it the midfield for Asheville City? It's the attacking has been unselfish. The back line, specifically Simpson, who has, except for one moment, marshaled one of the best players I've seen all season in Dominguez. There's so much to choose from. What part has impressed you the most tonight?
Well, I think the fact that you can pick out so many parts, to me, there's an overall mentality that Asheville came into the game with tonight that I feel like really took them over the top, especially here in the second half. I feel like the way that they responded from Wake's equalizer early on in the second half was incredibly impressive. They dealt with a change in shape. They've adjusted throughout the match. They've had unselfishness, as you mentioned. The work rate has been incredible. All of those things combined are about the ethos of the club. And I think they've put that on full display. You know, when Asheville City is its best, this is what it looks like for them on the pitch. And it's kind of all come together. And here's another great chance.
Kawasaki has to run to get it, can just keep it in bounds. Nifty bit of footwork, chips it through, and it'll be out for a corner kick. That's nifty from Kawasaki. Our PA announcer, Bobby Somerville, made a good point, and Amanda wanted to ask you about it. It's been 38 years, and no group or organization until Asheville City, the USL, all got together to honor the 85ers. Nobody's really done that honoring. It's been 38 years, if my math's correct, and I would never say that my math is definitely correct. And the USLW and the USL Super League, you've been working with them for a bit of time, and it feels like they're doing everything the right way as far as building women's soccer and the equality portion of the conversation. And when you see Asheville City saying, hey, this is what we want to do, and you being here, it feels like they get the equality piece of the puzzle. And I know it's tough to talk about your boss, but I feel like you tell me if they weren't getting equality right. Are they getting equality right at USL?
I mean, I can tell you in every meeting, you know, the women are an equal priority to the men. I mean, if we end a meeting and we haven't fully, you know, gotten to the Super League or the W League, whatever the women's agenda is that day, we will set a meeting for the next morning and get to it first thing. Like it is a top priority for everyone at the USL League offices. And we have 100 people work at the league office. We've got 18 different departments. We run, you know, a number of leagues now, both the men's and the women's side. So I think we benefit from the experience across the men's ecosystem. But we never shortchange the women, and I'm incredibly proud to be part of the USL, be part of this family, and I do think that when you create the environment, you set the standards, you create the environment and the atmosphere, things like this happen. Like Asheville took 100% of the lead on this and really drove this 1985 recognition, but almost. But what I think Stacy would say, what this club is demonstrating is that representation matters. And that having women in the boardroom, having women on the field, acknowledging the contributions of those women to the game, to history, and to the future is something that we take really seriously at the USL. And I'm incredibly proud of the torch, the mantle that Asheville City has picked up to honor this 1985 U.S. Women's National Team. Your point's correct. No one's done it before, and it's incredible for me to be here as part of this celebration.
We almost saw a Laura Greb bicycle kick.
Yes.
And she got like halfway into it and was like, I don't know. And the ball kind of bundled down on her a little bit, so it didn't get as high, I think, as she was expecting it to. Ball flipped in, nodded forward. If you notice, with the insertion of Cook, Parker Roberts has snuck forward into that midfield role, and sort of that, now she's sneaking back, and there goes, I guess they're more of they're alternating as Roberts marauds forward. You'll see Cook slide back into that center back position and vice versa.
Well, again, a few minutes left in the season, right? Last chance to get a few kicks, make a couple runs. Nobody's going to blame you.
Oh, man, my heart breaks when you keep saying it's the end of the season. I love
I know. I was like, why are you
League
bringing
so
up sad
much.
things?
I know.
We've only got like a couple of minutes left. Let's keep it happy.
No, I mean, it's good. It is really good that we do take the opportunity to celebrate this season and the accomplishments of these women on the field and all of the people who've been part of this club. But both of these clubs, by the way, both Wake and Asheville City have put on a tremendous season, and I think we do have to acknowledge that and and to all the fans who've shown up throughout the season, because you know, fans are the heartbeat of this game.
Thank you for your attendance.
And we've been lucky in the W League to really build an engaged, attract an engaged fan base who gets it, who gets how important this is.
Well, I should say regular season.
Fair.
I'm building on the knowledge that these two teams will be beat out by North Carolina Courage, unfortunately, in the South Atlantic Division standings for that guaranteed playoff spot. But there will be playoffs, so if you're watching on YouTube right now and you love what you're seeing, there is more of this.
Fair play.
I'm
sure.
You know, not trying to throw rain on the parade.
Yep, we've got the conference semifinals and finals coming up in the next weekend, and then we go on to the national semifinals the weekend after that, with the finals being played, oh gosh, that third weekend in July, the 22nd, 23rd, depending on the host.
It's also first weekend of the Women's World Cup. Talk about a great weekend.
Nodded forward, Kawasaki, the lob, oh, just misses wide.
Yeah, what a great weekend to celebrate women's soccer, right? With the U.S. women's national team playing their first game in the World Cup on the 21st. Late game for a lot of people.
No shade to the Aussies, but these games will be a little more prime time for the U.S. audience, perhaps, than some of those World Cup matches.
Oh,
I know the U.S. first game is
Oh yeah.
So we can watch it all. We can watch it all.
That's right. That's right. Get your coffee in the mornings. Get your beers at night, whatever it is, and kick back and watch some great soccer this summer.
Into the 90th minute, we've got 2 minutes of stoppage time, and we're going to see Katie Leonard come on for Emily Earls. Also onto the pitch is Gracie Gilmore and Genesis Lara taking the place of Stegall and Kerman.
Now in the match for Wake FC in goal, Katie Leonard.
And you will see some players come back. It's cool to see who comes back each year. Parker Roberts was with the Orlando Pride. Got an injury. Wanted to play for fun. She wanted to just play. So she comes to Asheville City just to get to love to play soccer. And she's accomplished that this season. You've got former Asheville Bulldog Jillian Oyas, who played for Newcastle in the 3rd division of English soccer. And she's made her way back to Asheville to play for Asheville City Soccer Club this summer. The Blasts from the whistle, give us your final score. Asheville City 4, Wake 1. Parker, Amanda, it's been a fun game and it's been a fun season.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. It's awesome. Thanks for having me on. Congratulations to these teams and to all the teams across the W League for a tremendous season. And here we go into the playoffs.
Here we go into the playoffs. Parker, Asheville City finishes 2nd in the division, and Wake FC 3rd. Feels fairly accurate for the season. They're just right neck and neck. You could see it 3-0 in the center of the state, 4-1 here in the western part of the state. These are two really close teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Asheville happened to be the team that got to make the last blow. You know, they get the last game at home, a little revenge after that game down in Holly Springs a few weeks ago. And so they get to end out 2nd place in the division. Of course, NC Courage, I mean, the soccer we've seen in this division all season long has been awesome. Real pleasure to see these two teams, and honestly, what a night that Asheville City has put on tonight. I mean, the game, as good as it was, to me, was secondary to what else was happening tonight, to honoring this 85ers and giving them a chance also to just be celebrated, because they deserve that. They earned that, and it's taken a little too long, but I'm glad that it happened, and I'm glad it could happen in Asheville. And thanks so much for having me, Matt. And Amanda, thanks for joining us. I think it's just been an awesome night.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't agree more. What an honor to be with you guys. You definitely had your radio voices on tonight, by the way. You absolutely crushed this, and I enjoyed every moment, so thank you.
It's been a fun night, and a final score on 85ers night in Asheville, North Carolina is Asheville City Soccer Club 4. It's Wake FC 1. That'll That'll do it for the season. Asheville City finishing second, Wake FC finishing third. It is the Courage who take the top spot in the South Atlantic Division. Stay tuned for, that'll be it for our show, but just rewind it and watch it again. It was a fantastic match, and what a way to honor the 85ers as they dance with the South Slope Blues. And Amanda, we're going to end the broadcast so you can go dance with them. And that'll do it for us from Asheville. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night, and what a fun season it